What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, slot swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. We got Amy in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Anna. Good morning to Bill, Brian, Frank. Jeff is in the house. Good morning to Joe, John, Lauren, Lou. We got Malik in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Mark, Marius, Martina, Rob, Tim. You guys are piling in. I love it. We got all my people out on YouTube. M Sky, he says. Ooh, first place going to be a 1R plus kind of day. Yeah, that's if you're the first one to comment in YouTube, you are guaranteed at least. It's a guarantee. The market doesn't give too many guarantees. This is somehow it just works out. So, congrats to you. We got Hustle in the house. Good morning to It's My Time. We got me in the house as well. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube, they're just not going to say nothing. Sabine is not one of them. Good morning to you. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. I don't know if they still do notification thing, but that's I don't know. Just live dangerous. Whatever buttons I got there, that seems cool. But we got Spy, so a little bit of selling yesterday. We were up still pretty massively in the overall market, so we didn't go from green, strong green to red, which is a positive for the markets. Um, it was, we talked about this yesterday. It was a retest gap. A lot of things were kind of opening right into some resistance. So we have SPY just depending on where it opened, and it could not get above that last one. We said the next target would be up here, and then we're looking for a bigger target up there for the bullish case. So the question is are we still in sell the rip type market or not? As of now, yes, we don't really have any confirmation either way until you start breaking down some key levels still. So we're still just potentially just really still coming in for the retest. That was a big gap. Could take some time to really change the sentiment and move, especially when we've been in a sell the rip environment for quite some time. But otherwise, I'm looking for today's open. We have to get above a resistance from yesterday, which is pretty close. So watch 536.85. We start getting above that. We can make a case that we probably are done selling for today. Maybe at your next target up to like 538.90, and then probably back to 540.39. Problem is there is a lot of resistance to the way up. It's just three levels, all very close to each other. So we're approaching a fairly key level for this. And right now the market is opening underneath that. So unless the next 25 minutes comes out where we could get some, and we've had some buying just right before I hopped on the mic, probably the last I don't know 15 minutes of pre-market. We had a little bit of buying. Other than that, though, not enough to get above this VPOC quite yet. We're still inside yesterday's range. We have the closing price. It's a gap and go today as well, but we have the closing price somewhere around 535.39. So look for a little support there. Otherwise, we did get down to our first VPOC, our first support that we did talk about yesterday. If we cannot hold that, so if we're going to break the lows of the day, the next spot I got is 531.37. That gives us a little bit of room. And then you got some more room down to 528.47. And then a full on retest would take us into like 524.61. So there's some room. There's a couple levels a little bit further away. Your risk to reward is to the downside for today. Does it play out that way? Can we get above that support or resistance? I don't know. I don't know. We're just little bullish at open. Maybe we get some follow through. I think a lot of this was probably profit taking, and we'll have to see. We didn't have any real big macro headlines. We had some things to do with some auto tariffs last night, so little positive in that space, but nothing really too crazy, which is a first, I think, for since the last 3 months. We've showed up to a market without any big headlines. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that White House. I'm not sure. I had the day off. We have Qs. Qs are just hanging out. Nothing too crazy again. It was a retest gap. We got down to that first level of support. We are bouncing off of it. We are also opening above the 20 EMA. This one does have in a bullish direction. So SPY is a little bit, and we'll see. SPY maybe could get up there. But this one has a little bit more room to the upside. You got about $3, $2.50, let's say. So a little bit of room. Maybe look for a high wave candle and then see if you can get back to this 458.03 zone. We start clearing that. Your next one, which we've got to already, 458.35. And we got 459.10. Also been there before too. So If we could get above yesterday's VPOC, I'm calling that a pretty positive move. No matter how far we move for today, providing there's no macro news overnight, I think that would set us up fairly good for continuation breakout. Anything below that, you're probably in a little bit of a chop. You still have the risk reward. You still have this wide open gap down to four. I'd call it 442.37, and a couple levels of support in between there. So if we break yesterday's, not the lows. But if we break down 453.80, the next stop I think takes you into 449.19. So still you got a little bit more room than the SPY, at least to the upside. To the downside, just looking how much room we have to the bull side and how much room to the bear side. Your advantage is still to the bear side for now, just in terms of risk reward. But gap and go above the 20. Qs look a little bit better than the SPY for today. BTC USD. Intel, we'll take a look at that too, and I see some other tickers popping in there as well. Bitcoin, pretty astonishing 2 days. Uh, Tuesday was absolutely incredible move. It's made a nice little move, but you have a high wave candle from yesterday at the top. We're still inside that range. If we're going to get a bigger pullback, we'd have to break down the support 91.14. So as long as we stay above that, I'm happy with this move. I'm happy with this consolidation, and then we probably go higher from here. Otherwise, we start getting down to this 91, start breaking 91. You see some more dramatic pullbacks to 88.30, 379, and then you got 87.532. So chilling. Gold. I love gold. Big gap down yesterday. Still managed to stick a hammer in our faces, so we got that. Opening at a resistance. Again, this one kind of gaps a little frequently, so the gaps probably don't play the same in terms of sentiment. Usually, you're buying and holding for an extended period of time, but you still have that warning shot. You still have the big volume bearish engulfing candle. We're at a little bit of resistance now. I think if you start getting back up to this 311.23, that's a spot to look short. It still looks relatively bullish. Looks like we just had a little pullback, but there's a warning shot. If you get up, if you could get back to this 311.23 zone, you're throwing your stop above that high volume candle somewhere around 318. Gives you about $7 for the upside if you want to try to play some kind of short side to gold. Again, the one that I like is GLL for some type of um, inverse ETF of gold. So if you're like me and you have problems shorting, you just want to buy things, this would be your inverse. So you'd be buying GLL to play that to the downside. Not saying gold is collapsing. Everything still looks like we're still trending, but at least a little bit of warning shot. So we do have to continue to watch that on the daily. We got Lilly from Wendy. So Lilly is not doing anything right now. You have a little bit of a little tiny gap and go, I guess, from close, but still inside day. Looks relatively choppy. The good news for you, if you're bullish, you want to stay above the lowest level here is 822.72. You're still kind of playing off that good gap and go. Got you above all moving averages. We're consolidating above them, which is nice. But stay above those levels. Your first retest for today, if you want to come a little bit lower, watch 826.57. You got your higher side on this one to 850.31. That's our first resistance. We'll see if we can break out of it. But really just kind of hanging out for now. Not too much edge. So if this one wants to fall into 826.57, I think I have at least some good risk reward, probably to go long at that point. Otherwise, I'd be trying to hold to like 850.31. We start breaking underneath 822, and I think probably not the easiest short, but just because you have the 200, you have a whole slew of moving averages in your face. Otherwise, I would like it a little bit more to the downside for some kind of maybe retracement. Maybe you get back to like 790 on this one, but for right now, just hanging out until we actually break out of there. CMG Chipotle. Uh, it's a retest gap from yesterday. Technically, yesterday was a retest gap of the day before, but this one should have acted a little bit more gap and go. It didn't. Looks like they did have earnings, so they beat on earnings by 4.68%. They missed on the revenue side of things. Not unless you're Tesla, it's very hard to miss and go up, but Tesla could do it. Can Burrito Boy do it too? I'm not sure, but CMG, um, even on this move down, I would have liked to see, and we'll see what this one wants to open, but watch 48.23. If we could manage to sneak above it before open, maybe it's a little bit of buy the dip into probably not much room, but 48.81. Otherwise, if we're gonna open anywhere lower, we start breaking down from here. I would think the top of this candle should be a decent retest spot, but honestly, if we're below that, I think you have room down to you have all the moving averages putting pressure on you. I think you're looking for at least 46.91 as a target to the downside, maybe a bounce spot from there. Earnings weren't horrible. The revenue miss, not great, but kind of indifferent, not really doing too much. NOW. There's a fantastic looking gap. Let's take some lines off the chart. This is a retest gap from yesterday. This is an earnings play, 5.47% on earnings per share. Surprise beat to the higher side. Unlike Chipotle, they came in with a 4.76 million surprise beat on the revenue side of things. You're opening right at a huge resistance, and you have your 200 and earshot away from that 100 coming down too for you. Really good gap. Again, in this market, we don't know. We haven't seen the buy the dippers hold. We have been seeing the sell the rippers kind of come into this market. As long as you're below that 200, I would probably, and especially this one, if you start climbing above it, let it go. I'm not gonna take it short. But if you're anywhere under 890, I think you're setting up for that fade. If we open higher and then you almost want to see this thing come back down and then break this 890 again for your opportunity to go short. Otherwise, you might be trying something like 919. I don't think at that point I'd be really trying it to go bearish at that point. So we'll see where this one wants to open. Stay below that. If we end up closing really into this 810, 819 zone, I'd expect some kind of a pullback. See if we can now use that 200 as support, and then that's your buy opportunity. So right now, I'd be looking for a fade. That looks like a good gap though. So I'm not eager to too short, but you're at a very interesting spot too short if you're going to. Let's see, Intel. If I can hit the right buttons here. Intel. BGL says market looks okay. Yeah, that's the sentiment I got too. It just looks okay. It's not dying. It's just weird that we're not having a 2% move in either direction at open. I don't know what to do with this average market. We got Intel is hanging out. Earnings are tonight though, so watch that. Make your move before that. It's gonna be a coin toss. I think I'd rather be long than short. You are at essentially 52-week lows, probably. I can't imagine. Where are we at? Yeah, you're still at lows from back in the soonest was December 12th or December 2012. So on the grand scheme of things, you're fairly low. If they could get a gap, I think this one could be a fun one tomorrow. So, um, again, it's just so low at this point. It's just hard for me to go short. They're gonna have to really turn it around. They did have decent earnings last time. So maybe we see another beat. But last time they did beat by 9.38%. They came in with a 433 million, and you're pretty much getting that same opportunity at the same location again. We'll see if we get any breakthrough in this one. IBM is another one we should look at, and so it's a little different than Intel, but their earnings were pretty good, right? And this is where the sentiment of like, I don't know. The market sold off a little yesterday. We do have to get back above it. It's a retest gap, so I can't really say that the market is really not still just we're flipping into to buy the dips as opposed to sell the rips. But then you have something like IBM, which beat 12.35%. They beat on the revenue side by 1%, so 151 million. Last time they reported though, they were a little bit higher than this one, and you actually got a bullish pop after that. So here was probably decent earnings. We were reporting at a lower spot than last quarter. We had an initial pop on this one, a pretty nice one. I think we ran to like 260 after hours. and then gave it all back. And the sell, the rip is pretty clear on IBM right now. For that matter, earnings were good. You're still at a lower price now than last night's earnings report, the quarter before that one. You're both for the quarter before that earnings report, which that one did beat and sell off, and hopefully we don't have something like that coming in. But maybe you have some support at the 200. I'm not loving this yet for some kind of a balance until you start really recapturing, getting above 229.36. Otherwise, you probably have a little bit more room to the downside into 225.44 if it hasn't happened already after hours. Let's see where we got down to. Wrong way. Wrong way. Where am I? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I probably have to have extended trading hours on. There we go. Where did we get down to? 225.53. So we've already got there. So maybe that's your sign. But we've also got into that resistance. We rejected it. This would be an interesting watch, one to add to the watch list. We'll put this one up higher. You're starting to get into a buy zone. You're still above that 200, which is impressive, especially in this market. You don't have, I think you get anywhere past 229.44. Your next little spot, 230.86 for some consolidation is not much. I think your bigger spot somewhere around 233.04 and potentially get to like 233.94-ish, but we'll have to see how this one plays out. But good earnings. I don't think they really put out guidance or forecast, but that might be what's killing this one for now. Other than that, stay above that 200, be bullish, stay below it, and we'll start flipping bearish with bigger targets down to potentially 185 in the future, but not yet. TXN, you got they reported as well. They usually report good earnings. They did. So they beat on earnings per share by 19%, 19.4%. Revenue portion of things, they came in with an extra 4.12%, an extra 161 million. So not a bad quarter. I'd be a little terrified of this big volume that's coming in. Uh, all the way up until like 170.36. Your biggest volume on this one, somewhere around 168.58. So Bears are going to probably try to keep that below it. You're also at a interesting spot. We're a little bit higher than well, depends on where this thing opens, but the level I got right now is essentially where we're at 166.60. If we open higher than that, I would be pausing any type of retracement, which a little bit of a red candle, that might be your it's a red candle, but that was a retracement gap as well. So I think this one probably acts a little bit more like a retrace. There was people buying. There's still people profitable here. They're profitable in this gap up, and we just saw what happened with IBM. So I don't know. Anything above 166.60, if you're going to try to come into the short, you might as well try a little bit higher into probably that 100 EMA, but really have targets up to like 173.81. So long anywhere above 166.90. Otherwise, I'm looking for that retracement gap, and that might be tough too. You still have one level, 165.74, and then probably free fall for coming back, but. Pretty interesting level that it's at. It's got a little bit of room to the higher side, a lot more room to the downside. But those are the levels where I'll be looking to see if I can get some good risk reward intraday. I don't know how spread. I don't really trade Texas Instruments too much, so I don't know what the spread looks like on it. Market's closed right now. You got about 30-cent spread. So we'll see if that tightens up a little bit too. All right, we got JD. Not, yeah, this one, Baba's been on the rebound. JD has just not been feeling any love. We're in a very, very rough spot for JD. It's got one more little volume spot to hold, which is right where we're at now. Anything below that, you got 32.04. It's very weak one bulls. Probably want to try to save it. Anything past that, I've got nothing really down to like $26.91. You held a decent, so it's either and we have a retest technically from yesterday. So most likely, I think the Bulls try to save this one. We get some kind of a bounce, and then you get up into this like 33.50 zone, and then we have to see if this one kind of comes down and crashes. That's what I think happens. This is obviously a daily chart, so it's going to take some time to kind of play out, I think. Otherwise, we definitely had a good support. We tried to hold it, we didn't. That support should be the resistance, which is why I think we could do something like this for a day trade purpose, though. Um, it doesn't look bullish. It looks like it has a lot of room to the downside. Like we just said, somewhere in the 26 range, that would get you about four, five, $6 on a $32 stock. So not looking that healthy whatsoever. Obviously, they should respond well to good, positive Chinese news from China. So we'll see if that comes in, and if you're in a trade, you always have that risk. Otherwise, it will respond really well if it's bad news from China and the momentum continues down. But I'd be looking for like the 26.93 zone as a target. Not sure if we get there today. That would be a massive, massive move in just one day. But most likely, we'll see if the Bulls want to come in, hang out into this 33.17 zone, and I think you have a better spot to maybe look to go short there. But we'll see what those intraday candles looks weak. Looks very, very weak. Question is, which direction? How do they get down to that 29? It's not that they're not getting to that $29 zone, is or 26.97 zone. The question is, how do they do it? Why do I think a retest first? But we'll see. We will see. Jeff says today's stuff. It's a creative name for this list. I like it. We got Mart P durable good orders month over month. I'm gonna say that's March. Adorable. Okay, got you. We got March. Chicago Fed is coming in at yeah. So the 8:30 we already had. Uh, this one also we've had. So the only really thing we got on the list is existing home sales. We'll see how that plays out. We had new home sales yesterday, which was it came in pretty strong. All right, let's take a look. We got Apple AAPL for Bijal. Apple sauce. Mm, Inside day. Uh, I like the fact you're above the 20. I like the fact you used the 20 as some kind of support for yesterday. We didn't really have a full-on retest like most things. We didn't really come down to this 199.01 yet, so that might be on the agenda. But for now, for today, I don't know if I have much edge yet on Apple. I'll be looking for like 203.52, some kind of support. We're right above that. And then even if we go bullish on this thing, I'd have to be worried about two spots. First one coming in at 205.03. The next one not too far away, 205.49, 209.50. We'll have to see how that kind of plays out, see where that holds. Um, so if we get above 205.50, I like it long. If you starting to climb below 203.50, I like it kind of short. Your next stop though, 202.37, and then your bigger target, if you think you get there, is probably in this 199 zone. So a little choppy. It's still holding even for today. It is gapping down slightly, but we're still in yesterday's range. So we'll see how that plays out. MSTR, chilling, big volume zone. 341.42. We are above that at this point. However, we are slightly below the VPOC from yesterday and 2 days ago. So first level to the higher side on this one, 345.13. I almost think this thing. We did check out Bitcoin too, and it looks like we're just trying to consolidate. We've already had a big move. MSTR is no stranger to that move, and it looks like we're just kind of hanging out. So I'm not sure what the follow through is on this one. Obviously, if Bitcoin starts to pull back and retest that previous VPOC, that's not great for MSTR. You'll probably see some kind of pullback, maybe start working some fibs. But we did break. So again, this level that I was looking at, somewhere around, I really have about 340.75. 2 days ago on Tuesday, we closed above it. Fantastic sign. We had a retest gap. It retested, and now we use that zone as support. So at this point, I'd still be leaning bullish, but we do have some resistance. I don't know if today's a day it has a monster run, but I would be leaning still bullish until maybe yesterday's low gets taken out, and then see if we get maybe a little bit of a bigger pullback into like 324.70, something like that. But yeah, slightly into the bull side, but we have to get above some of that resistance that's not too far away. CCL I have on the list. CCL. Um, Looks like it wants to open above the 20, which would be pretty interesting. I think you got your next immediate target at $19.06. That's not a huge move, but it is we have been there before. The next one after that takes us up to 1932. The one after that, because that last one got hit. The next one after that also got hit. So I'd probably be looking for like a potential $19.64 move. That's not a bad move on a dollar stock. You're going or on a $19 stock, $18.50 stock, going up about a dollar. That's good gains. You have pretty good risk reward if you start breaking the lows of yesterday. This might be a good risk reward play. It is a gap and go for today as well. Um, I don't. If we break the low of yesterday at any point, you have room down to like 19 or $18.10. So I think we might be able to get enough risk reward on this one to go higher. Watch that 1853 zone. That's the VPOC. So right now, pre-market, we're now dropping a penny below it. I want to get up there. Almost want to come back, retest it, and then see if we get that bullish move. And we're just kind of hanging into that 20. See if we can stay above it. But we'll see. We got QCOM. QCOM. Oops. Q1Com. That sounds like something from Star Trek. We got Qualcomm. This one drives me crazy all the time. Qualcomm, I don't know why, but they absolutely frustrating stock. Not a bad gap though. From the looks of it, it is a good looking gap. I love the fact that we're opening above 142.04. You got room up to 152.80. You've got some earnings around the corner. That's going to be April 30th. So we got next week on the agenda for earnings. Otherwise, that would be about a $10 move. Even though it's frustrating, I got to put this one on pretty high on the list. We are also pretty much a gap and go opening at yesterday's price. I kind of like Qualcomm a decent amount. It's got some room on it. The question is, do we get held at like 146.98? Possibly. You also have before my target of 152.80. You got your 100 at 149.44. I like that one. I like it. I'm gonna put that one higher on the list. See JP Morgan. JP Morgan, you have a little blow off top. You're gapping below it. This one probably looks a little bit weak. We did say SPY looks weaker than Q's at open, or at least Q's are probably a better trade. So we'll see. Otherwise, that's not a great trade. I think we're probably going to drop into 236.81, maybe a full on retest at 233.65. But yeah, already starting to drop a little bit. Other than that, everybody YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. That is a morning bell. And unfortunately, I got to disconnect. So you guys are incredible. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.